Now, of course, with every draft, the main focus goes on who will be drafted first overall and who your favorite team will be taking in the first round. But what's even more exciting to me, in my opinion, is when your team stumbles on an absolute diamond in the rough, a player who NHL scouts overlooked and labeled as someone who wouldn't make it at the NHL level, but when given the opportunity, they absolutely took over the game. That is exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video, so let's dive right in. Here are the greatest draft steals from all 32 NHL teams. The Anaheim Ducks, Sami Vatanen. A 4th round pick by the Anaheim Ducks going at number 106 at the 2009 NHL Draft, Sami Vatanen made his debut against the Minnesota Wild on February 1st, 2013, after starting the 2012-2013 season in the AHL. Sami Vatanen scored an NHL career-high 12 goals with the Ducks in the 2014-2015 season and had 11 points in 16 Stanley Cup playoff games, helping the Anaheim Ducks reach the Western Conference Finals. In the 2015-2016 season, he again led all Ducks defensemen in scoring with 38 points and was rewarded a 4-year contract on June 18, 2016. 105 players were selected before Vatanen, and then he goes on to be the best scoring defenseman on that team. Now that's what I call a steal. The Arizona Coyotes, Keith Yandle. Despite scoring 54 points in 34 games leading up to the draft, Keith Yandle was left on the board until the 4th round of the 2005 NHL Draft when the Phoenix Coyotes selected him with the 105th pick. Yandle scored 84 points and was plus 50 in 66 games playing in the QMJHL. With that type of production, that was enough to name him the league's best defenseman during that 2005-2006 season. He was also named the CHL's Defenseman of the Year after helping his team to the QMJHL Championship and a berth in the Memorial Cup, where he scored 3 goals in 5 games. Keith Yandle made his NHL debut in the 2006-2007 season, and he got his first NHL point in his 2nd game, but was then sent down to San Antonio of the AHL after 7 games. After playing the first half of the 07-08 season with San Antonio, Yandle returned to the Coyotes and scored his first goal in a 3-2 victory against the Flyers on December 18, 2007. In the 2009-2010 season, he had his first 82-game season in the NHL and led the Coyotes at a plus 16 and tied for the team lead with 16 power play points. An explosive skater with outstanding passing and puck handling skills, Keith Yandle has become one of the best offensive defensemen the NHL has ever seen. He was a consistent leader with assists, power play assists, and power play points, establishing himself as one of the game's best power play quarterbacks. Before Phil Kessel took over the Iron Man streak for most consecutive games played, Keith Yandle held that record playing his 965th consecutive NHL game, January 5th, 2021. Getting this type of performance and longevity out of a player drafted in the 4th round is nothing short of remarkable. The Boston Bruins, Patrice Bergeron. Selected 45th overall in 2003, Patrice Bergeron is a 2nd rounder who has proven to be an elite player on par with the best in the game. Drafted after 1 season in the QMJHL, Patrice Bergeron made an immediate jump to the NHL as an 18-year-old and scored 16 goals in his rookie season in the 2003-2004 season. A serious concussion limited him to just 10 games in the 2007-2008 season, but in 2010, he was being considered as one of the best two-way centers the game has seen. Despite missing all but 10 games in the 2007-2008 season because of that concussion, Bergeron's influence on the ice and inside the dressing room continued to grow. In Game 7 of the 2011 Stanley Cup Finals, Bergeron scored 2 goals as the Bruins claimed their 6th title over 7 hard-fought games against the Vancouver Canucks. That made Bergeron a member of the elite Triple Gold Club reserved for players who've won a gold medal at the Olympics, the World Championship, and the Stanley Cup. In the 2011-2012 season, Bergeron led the NHL in plus-minus with plus 36, finished 2nd in face-off win percentage with 59.3, and won his first Selke Trophy. On top of that, he also notched 64 points. Bergeron was named the 20th captain of the Bruins on January 7, 2021. He signed a 1-year contract worth $2.5 million with the Bruins as an unrestricted free agent on August 8th to return for his 19th season in the NHL. Bergeron is the 4th Bruins player to have 1,000 points and the 41st NHL player to get 1,000 points with one team. Bergeron retired from the NHL on July 25, 2023. He is an NHL record 6-time winner of the Selke Trophy, voted as the best defensive forward, and made a name for himself for being hockey's finest two-way player. The Buffalo Sabres, Jason Pominville. Selected 55th overall in 2001, easily Buffalo's best find in the 2000s was Jason Pominville. He He was chosen late in the second round, and the Quebec native didn't crack the Sabres lineup full-time until the 2005-2006 season. The Sabres reached the Eastern Conference Finals in both 2006 and 2007, while Pominville put up 6 straight seasons with at least 20 goals, built a 335-game Ironman streak, and was eventually named team captain in 2011. When the Sabres started to rebuild, Pominville brought the franchise future building blocks, including a first and second round draft pick, when he was dealt to the Minnesota Wild at the 2013 trade deadline. The Calgary Flames, Johnny Gaudreau. Selected in the 4th round going at 104 overall by the Calgary Flames in the 2011 NHL Draft, Johnny Gaudreau quickly became one of the league's most exciting players to watch. He made his NHL debut in the final game of the 2013-2014 season and scored a goal in a 5-1 loss to the Vancouver Canucks. That was just a hint of things to come. Gaudreau played 80 games in the 2014-2015 season, scoring 24 goals, and was a finalist for the Calder Trophy. He led all rookies in assists with 40, tied Mark Stone of the Ottawa Senators for the rookie lead in points with 64, and had 14 multiple-point games. But Gaudreau was not finished there. He also helped Calgary to its first playoff appearance in 6 seasons and led the Flames with 9 points in 11 games. In the 2016-2017 season, Gaudreau won the Lady Byng Trophy for skill and sportsmanship, then set NHL career highs in assists with 60 and points with 84 in the 2017-2018 season. Johnny Gaudreau scored 100 points in a season for the first time in his NHL career when the Flames defeated the Seattle Kraken 5-3 on April 13, 2022. He became the 11th different US-born player in NHL history to score at least 100 points, and second since Patrick Kane did it with the Chicago Blackhawks. Gaudreau finished with 115 points, the most by a US-born player in one season, behind Pat LaFontaine with 148 in the 1992-93 season. The Carolina Hurricanes, Justin Faulk. Picked 37th overall by the Carolina Hurricanes in the 2010 NHL Draft, Justin Faulk earned a spot on the NHL's all-rookie team in the 2011-2012 season after leading the Carolina Hurricanes in average ice time per game with 22 minutes and 51 seconds, ranking first among rookie defensemen in power play goals with 5, tying first among rookie defensemen in total goals with 8, and finishing second among rookies with 22 points. Justin Faulk continued to gain notice in the 2012-2013 season when he was named the team's most valuable player by the Carolina chapter of the Professional Hockey Writers Association. The honor came following a season in which Faulk played 38 games but had 15 points and ranked first among Hurricanes defensemen in takeaways with 24, third in hits with 63, and fourth in blocks with 47. In the 2014-2015 season, Faulk participated in his first NHL All-Star game and was again named Hurricanes MVP after he scored 15 goals with a team-high 34 assists. The next season, Faulk became the first player in NHL history to score his first 12 goals of the season on the power play. After 8 seasons with the Hurricanes, including his first trip to the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2019, Justin Faulk was traded to the St. Louis Blues on September 24, 2019. The Chicago Blackhawks, Dustin Byfuglien. As rare as it is for a late-round NHL pick to become a bona fide star, it's even more unusual that he would become a star as 2 positions. Dustin Byfuglien is that rare player, and we've seen him deliver high levels of play as a forward and a defenseman in the NHL. Selected 245th overall in 2003, Byfuglien was a byproduct of the WHL's Prince George Cougars, and his size, standing at 6'5", 260 pounds, made him attractive to coaches as a winger as well as a defenseman. On November 3, 2007, he arrived for good in the NHL, scoring the opening goal of a 3-2 Chicago win against the St. Louis Blues. Byfuglien scored his first NHL hat-trick as part of a 4-point night against the Phoenix Coyotes November 30th, 2007, and while shifting positions from D to forward, he finished the 2007-2008 season 5th on the Blackhawks in goals with 19 and tied for second with 7 power play goals and 4 game-winning goals. The following season, Byfuglien led the Blackhawks forwards with 169 hits and finished tied for 7th with 15 goals. In his Stanley Cup playoff debut, he scored 3 goals and 9 points while appearing in 17 postseason games. After spending most of the 2009-2010 season as a D-man, Byfuglien tied for the team lead with 11 playoff goals as Chicago won the 2010 Stanley Cup. Byfuglien's postseason included a hat-trick in Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinals against the Canucks, a 2-goal 4-point effort in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup final, and a goal in Chicago's cup-clinching victory against the Philadelphia Flyers on June 9, 2010. The Atlanta Thrashers acquired Byfuglien in a trade on June 24, 2010, and kept him as a defenseman for the 2010-2011 season. Byfuglien responded by leading all NHL defensemen with 20 goals and finishing 4th among NHL defensemen with 53 points. The Colorado Avalanche, Paul Stastny. Paul Stastny was selected by the Avalanche in the second round at the number 44 pick of the 2005 NHL Draft after helping the University of Denver win the NCAA title in the 2004-2005 season. Paul Stastny quickly made a name for himself in the NHL in the 2006-2007 season, going on a 20-game point streak for the Colorado Avalanche, which was a league record for a rookie. At 21, Stastny was the third youngest player in NHL history with a streak that long, trailing only Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux. Stastny also set a rookie record with a 15-game road point streak. He finished second in voting for the Calder Trophy. His 78 points ranked second among first-year players and earned him a spot on the NHL All-Rookie team. Stastny kept up his production in the 2007-2008 season, leading the Avalanche with 71 points, including his first NHL hat-trick on October 3, 2007, coming against the Dallas Stars. Stastny had points in his first 7 games in the 2008-2009 season and scored 20 points in March of 2010, finishing the season with a team-leading 79 points. In the 2011-2012 season, he was second on Colorado in points with 53, goals with 21, and assists with 32, and had team highs in power play goals with 7 and power play points with 19. Stastny followed in the footsteps of his father when he signed a free agent contract with the St. Louis Blues on July 1, 2014. The Columbus Blue Jackets, Cam Atkinson. A 6th-round pick at the 157th pick by the Blue Jackets at the 2008 NHL Draft, Cam Atkinson made his NHL debut October 7, 2011, and scored his first NHL goal 3 days later against the Vancouver Canucks. Following 3 straight seasons of 20 goals, Atkinson scored 35 goals in the 2016-2017 season and replaced Pittsburgh Penguins center Evgeny Malkin at the NHL All-Star Game. Cam Atkinson signed a 7-year, $41.125 million contract with the Blue Jackets on November 17, 2017. He set NHL career highs in goals with 41, assists with 28, and points with 69 in the 2018-2019 season and helped the Blue Jackets win a Stanley Cup playoff series for the first time, a 4-game sweep against the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Eastern Conference first round. Atkinson scored 2 goals and 6 assists in 10 playoff games. Overall, Atkinson scored 402 points in 627 games in 10 seasons with the Blue Jackets, who then traded him to the Philadelphia Flyers for forward Jakub Voracek on July 24, 2021. The Dallas Stars, Jamie Benn. The Stars grabbed Jamie Benn from the Victoria Grizzlies of the British Columbia Hockey League with the 129th pick that year, and he has developed into one of the best forwards in the NHL. It is rare that a player taken that low develops into anything more than an average NHLer, with the large majority of 5th-rounders never playing a single game in the NHL. Jamie Benn became the second player in Dallas Stars history to play 1,000 NHL games. Jamie Benn established himself among the elite in the NHL. He was named to the first All-Star team in 2013-2014. He won the Art Ross as the league's top scorer with 87 points and was named to the second All-Star team in the 2014-2015 season, then scored 41 goals and 89 points in the 2015-2016 season when he was named to the NHL first All-Star team for the second time. But over the years, Benn has shown he is more than just a scorer. He led the Stars with 120 hits during the 2014-2015 season, and he had 156 hits in the 2015-2016 season, and he was first among Stars forwards in block shots with 59 in the 2013-2014 season, and second with 55 in the 2015-2016 season. He scored his 300th NHL goal February 27, 2020 against the Boston Bruins, becoming the 4th player in franchise history to reach that milestone. Benn also scored 19 points in 27 postseason games, helping the Stars advance to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time since the year 2000 before losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Detroit Red Wings, Pavel Datsyuk. Pavel Datsyuk was selected by the Red Wings in the 6th round of the 1998 NHL Draft. He went on to become one of the best two-way players in NHL history. In his 14 seasons in Detroit, Datsyuk scored 314 goals and dished out 604 assists in 953 games played. During this amazing run, he was named to the NHL All-Star team on 9 occasions and won the Lady Byng Memorial Trophy 4 times. Datsyuk also led the Red Wings to a pair of Stanley Cups in 2002 and 2008. There is nothing better than having Pavel Datsyuk on any list because you're guaranteed to be entertained, as this man is a highlight-making machine. Now let's take a quick second here to watch the Magic Man go to work.
Yes!
The Edmonton Oilers, Shawn Horcoff. Despite being heavily criticized in his later Oiler years due to a large cap hit, Shawn Horcoff was a very solid 4th-round pick for this franchise. Not only did he serve as their captain for 3 seasons from the 2010-2013 season, but he ranks 6th in franchise history for games played with 796 and 12th all-time for points with 447. He also played an integral role in the Oilers' Stanley Cup run in 2006. His 73 points that season were good for 2nd in team scoring, as were his 19 points in 24 playoff games played. He is undoubtedly the best mid to late round pick in recent history for the Edmonton Oilers. The Florida Panthers, Vincent Trocheck. Selected by the Florida Panthers in the 3rd round at the 64th pick of the 2011 NHL Draft, Vincent Trocheck led the OHL with 109 points in 63 games played in the 2012-2013 season. Trocheck became a full-time NHL player in the 2015-2016 season and scored 53 points with 25 goals and 28 assists in 76 games played, helping the Panthers win the Atlantic Division. The 22-year-old had a breakout season in his 2nd NHL season. His 25 goals were good enough to tie him for 3rd in team scoring, giving the Panthers some unexpected depth down the middle, which played a big part for them having a strong regular season. Trocheck set NHL career highs in goals with 31, assists with 44, and points with 75 in the 2017-2018 season. With his time expiring in Florida, he was traded from the Panthers to the Hurricanes on February 24, 2020. The LA Kings, Jonathan Quick. Selected by the LA Kings in the 3rd round in the 2005 NHL Draft, Jonathan Quick made his NHL debut against the Buffalo Sabres on December 6, 2007, stopping 15 of 17 shots in the victory and played in 3 games for the LA Kings that season. As a rookie in the 2008-2009 season, Quick got his first NHL shutout on December 23, 2008 in his 4th career start, stopping 24 shots in a 3-0 win against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Jonathan Quick started in 44 NHL games that season, tying a Kings rookie record with 4 shutouts and finishing 3rd among first-year NHL goalies with 21 wins, a .914 save percentage, and a 2.48 goals against average. Jonathan Quick set franchise records in the 2009-2010 season with 72 appearances and 71 starts. His 39 wins stood as a franchise record until he broke that record 6 seasons later. He stopped 41 of 44 shots in his Stanley Cup playoff debut in 2010, which was a 3-2 overtime loss in Game 1 of the first round against the Vancouver Canucks. In the 2012 playoffs, he led all goalies with 16 wins and a 1.41 goals against average and a .946 save percentage as the Kings won their first championship since entering the NHL in 1967. Just 2 years later, Jonathan Quick helped the Kings win their 2nd title while also winning the Jennings Trophy. After his NHL career-high 40 wins in the 2015-2016 season, Jonathan Quick missed most of the 2016-2017 season with a lower body injury, but rebounded the following year to win the Jennings Trophy once again when the Kings allowed the fewest goals in the NHL. He had a record of 32, 28, and 3 with a 2.40 goals against average, a .921 save percentage, and 5 shutouts in 64 appearances. Jonathan Quick became the 30th NHL goalie and 4th-born U.S. goalie to play 700 games when he helped the Kings defeat the Florida Panthers in a 3-2 shootout win on March 13, 2022. The Minnesota Wild, Erik Haula. He was expected to be an early round pick in the 2009 NHL Draft, but ended up sliding all the way to the 7th round where Minnesota selected him at the 182nd pick. Erik Haula got his first chance in the NHL early in his first full pro season when the Minnesota Wild promoted him from the AHL on November 29, 2013. He had an assist in his first NHL game and was named the game's 3rd star. The Wild then sent Haula back down on December 9th after 6 games played with them, but he returned later that month and became a fixture in the Minnesota lineup. He appeared in all 13 of Minnesota's 2014 Stanley Cup playoff games, scoring 4 goals and 7 points to help the Wild advance to the 2nd round for the 2nd time in their history. Erik Haula played the next 3 seasons for the Wild as a bottom 6 forward before being taken by the Vegas Golden Knights in the 2017 NHL expansion draft. Erik Haula went on to have NHL career bests with 29 goals, 26 assists, and 55 points, helping the Vegas Golden Knights set numerous NHL records for first-year teams. The Montreal Canadiens, Brendan Gallagher. Gallagher was selected 147th overall in the 2010 NHL Draft and ended up making the Canadiens roster based on sheer determination. He joined the Canadiens midway through the season and had 15 goals and 28 points in 44 games played, finishing 2nd to the Florida Panthers' Jonathan Huberdeau in Calder Trophy voting. Gallagher's value to the Canadiens was never more apparent than when he missed nearly 6 weeks of the 2015-2016 season. He fractured 2 fingers on November 22, 2015, and required surgery. Montreal went 5-11-1 in his absence and went on to miss the Stanley Cup playoffs. In the 2017-2018 season, Gallagher led the Canadiens in points with 54 and goals with 31. He was also nominated for the King Clancy Memorial Trophy as a player who best exemplifies leadership qualities and gives back to the community. The next season, Gallagher had 52 points and again led the Canadiens in goals with 33. The Nashville Predators, Pekka Rinne. Pekka Rinne was selected with the 248th pick by the Nashville Predators in the 2004 NHL Draft. He moved to North America for the 2005-2006 season and won his first game for the Nashville Predators on December 15, 2005 against the Chicago Blackhawks. It was the first of 2 games he played in the league that season. Pekka Rinne tied for second in the American Hockey League with 30 regular season wins in the 2005-2006 season, then had 10 postseason wins with 3 shutouts to lead Milwaukee to the 2006 Calder Cup final. In the 2007-2008 season, Pekka Rinne led the AHL in wins with 36 and appeared in the AHL All-Star Classic. Having played 3 NHL games prior to the 2008-2009 season, he appeared in 52 games with the Predators that season and finished 4th in voting for the Calder Trophy. He had 29 wins and was 4th among NHL goalies with 7 shutouts. Pekka Rinne upped his game, notching 4 shutouts in 9 games of the month of March in the year 2010. He won his Stanley Cup playoff debut in Game 1 of the first round that season against the Chicago Blackhawks, which was the first road victory in Predator playoff history. He also helped Nashville to its first playoff series victory in the Western Conference quarterfinals against the Anaheim Ducks. After leading NHL goalies in wins with 43, saves with 1,987, and games with 73, and points with 5 during the 2011-2012 season, Pekka Rinne finished 3rd in Vezina voting. He tied for the NHL lead with 5 shutouts in the 2012-2013 season and had a shutout streak of 155 minutes, 6 seconds that lasted from February 10th through to February 16th in 2013. After being the runner-up for the Vezina twice, Rinne finally won the award given to the NHL's best goalie in 2018, finishing with a 42-13-4 record with a 2.31 goals against average and a .927 save percentage, notching 8 shutouts along the way. Pekka Rinne had his number 35 retired by the Predators on February 24th, 2022. The New Jersey Devils, Patrik Elias. Patrik Elias was drafted 51st overall in 1994 and excelled his game in the AHL, earning a chance to make his NHL debut on December 7th, 1995. He spent most of the 96-97 season in the AHL, though he played 17 games with the Devils and scored his first NHL goal against Boston on December 12, 1996. He became an NHL regular in the 1997-98 season and had a breakout season in the 99-2000 season, scoring 35 goals and 72 points. He followed that with 7 goals and 20 points in 23 playoff games. Elias was voted an NHL first-team All-Star in the 2000-2001 season when he had an NHL career high of 40 goals, setting a Devils single-season record with 96 points and led the NHL with a +45 rating. He also scored 9 goals and finished with 23 points in 25 playoff games played. However, the Devils came up 1 win short of repeating as champions, losing Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final to the Colorado Avalanche. 2 years later, Patrik Elias played a key role in New Jersey's run to the Stanley Cup in 2003, finishing with 7 points, 3 goals and 4 assists in a 7-game victory against the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim in the finals. After that, there were no more championships in Patrik Elias' career, though he and the Devils advanced to the Stanley Cup Final in 2012, losing to the LA Kings in 6 games. But by then, the personal milestones had started to pile up. Elias spent his entire NHL career playing for the Devils. He owns New Jersey's career records for goals, assists, and points in a regular season and Stanley Cup playoffs, and he's second to Jaromir Jagr in points scored by an NHL player born in the Czech Republic. The New York Islanders, Anders Lee. Anders Lee was selected 152nd overall in the 2009 NHL Draft, and he turned pro following his junior season, making his NHL debut with the Islanders against the Winnipeg Jets April 2nd, 2013. He scored in that game on his first shot on goal. Starting that following season playing in the AHL, he was called up to the Islanders after scoring 22 goals and 41 points in 54 games played. On February 27, 2014, his first game after being called up, Lee had his first multi-goal game in the NHL, scoring twice against the Toronto Maple Leafs. He then remained with the Islanders for the rest of the season and had 9 goals, 14 points in 22 games. 5 games into the 2014-2015 season, Lee was again called up to the Islanders, where he played the remainder of the season. He scored 24 goals, 41 points in 76 games played, and finished 9th in voting for the Calder Trophy. He then signed a 4-year contract with the Islanders Islanders on June 30th, 2015. Anders Lee established himself as one of the league's best power forwards in the 2016-2017 season when he scored 34 goals in 81 games. He played all 82 games the following season and scored 40 goals for the first time in his career. He was named the 15th captain in Islanders history October 4th, 2018, and led them to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, finishing the season with 51 points in 82 games played. The Islanders re-signed Lee to a 7-year contract July 1st, 2019. Lee had 43 points in 68 games played in the 2019-2020 season before the season was paused due to the coronavirus. A knee injury sustained March 17, 2021 sidelined him for the rest of the 2020-21 season. He recovered to score 28 goals in 78 games played in the 2021-22 season, including his first NHL hat-trick in a 6-0 win against the Columbus Blue Jackets on March 10th. The New York Rangers, Henrik Lundqvist. Looking back, it's amazing to realize that Henrik Lundqvist's twin brother Joel, who played center for 134 games in the NHL, was chosen in the 3rd round of the 2000 draft, but his goaltending brother Henrik had to wait until the 7th round to hear his name called. That's right, Henrik Lundqvist was selected 205th overall in the 2000 draft. A stellar performer for more than a decade with the New York Rangers, Henrik Lundqvist has been one of the top players of his generation and is one of the top goalies of all time. He debuted with the Rangers in the 2005-2006 season and finished as a finalist for the Vezina Trophy while earning the NHL All-Rookie Team honors. His first NHL shutout came October 17, 2005, when he made 23 saves in a 4-0 victory against the Florida Panthers. He finished his first season with 30 victories, setting a Rangers record for wins by a rookie, and also finishing 4th in the league with a .922 save percentage and 5th with a 2.24 goals against average. That season set the tone for Lundqvist's reign in New York, as he was a Vezina finalist in each of his first 3 seasons in the NHL, and on top of that, he finished in the top 6 in voting in each of his first 10 seasons. He went on to win the Vezina Trophy in the 2011-2012 season and finished 3rd in voting for the Hart Trophy as well as league MVP after going 39, 18, and 5 with a 1.97 goals against average and a .930 save percentage. He led the league in victories with 24 in a 48-game shortened season in the 2012-2013 season. Lundqvist owns almost every record for goalies in Rangers history, including victories, shutouts, playoff wins, and games played. He set an NHL record by winning 6 consecutive Game 7s, a streak that was broken by the Tampa Bay Lightning in the 2015 Eastern Conference Final. On February 11, 2017, he became the 12th goalie in NHL history to reach 400 victories, making 32 saves in a 4-2 victory against the Colorado Avalanche. He won at least 30 games in each of his first 11 NHL seasons. Lundqvist announced his retirement from hockey August 20, 2021 after 15 seasons. The Ottawa Senators, Daniel Alfredsson. Little did the Ottawa Senators know when they selected Daniel Alfredsson, a forward from Sweden, in the 6th round at the 133rd pick of the 1994 NHL draft, that they'd be getting the best player in their franchise's history. Debuting in the 1995-96 season, Daniel Alfredsson was awarded the Calder Trophy as top rookie after scoring 25 goals and finishing with 61 points. He scored 24 goals and improved to 71 points in the 96-97 season, helping Ottawa qualify for the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time since entering the NHL in 1992. The Senators named Alfredsson captain of the 1999-2000 season, and he had 59 points, despite being limited to 57 games by injuries. He was able to play 68 games in the 2000-2001 season and finished with 70 points, beginning a streak of 9 straight seasons with at least 70 points. In the 2002-2003 season, Alfredsson had 78 points to help the Ottawa Senators win the President's Trophy and advance to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals before losing to the Devils. Alfredsson's best season came in the 2005-2006 season when he set NHL career highs in goals with 43, assists with 60, and points with 103. He followed that with 87 points in the 2006-2007 season and led all scorers with 14 goals in the playoffs, helping the Senators advance to the Stanley Cup final for the first time. He excelled in this loss to the Anaheim Ducks, scoring 4 goals in 5 games. Alfredsson played his 1,000th NHL game April 6, 2010, and scored his 1,000 point October 22, 2010, and reached the 400 goal mark when he scored in overtime against the Calgary Flames October 30, 2011. Alfredsson's time in Ottawa came to an end when he signed a 1-year contract with the Detroit Red Wings July 5, 2013. The Philadelphia Flyers, Rick Tocchet. The Philadelphia Flyers selected Rick Tocchet in the 6th round with the 121st pick of the 1983 NHL draft. He made the Flyers training camp in the fall of 1984 and scored 14 goals as a rookie, helping the Flyers advance to the 1985 Stanley Cup Final before losing to the Edmonton Oilers. By 1986-87, Rick Tocchet was a 21 goal scorer. His blend of skill and toughness was good enough to earn him a roster spot with Canada for the 1987 Canada Cup. He scored 3 goals and 5 points in 7 games, helping Canada defeat the Soviet Union to win the tournament. Building on his Canada Cup performance, Rick Tocchet went on to score 31 goals in the 1987-88 season and 45 in the 88-89 season. While Tocchet was dangerous with the puck on his stick, he was equally as dangerous without it, as he loved to rack up the penalty minutes. With 18 Gordie Howe hat tricks, the most in NHL history, it's safe to say Rick Tocchet developed his scoring touch after draft day and is easily the biggest draft steal in Flyers history. The Pittsburgh Penguins, Chris Letang. Chris Letang was selected by the Penguins in the 3rd round, 62nd overall of the 2005 NHL Draft. Letang made his NHL debut October 5, 2006 against the Philadelphia Flyers and scored his first NHL goal 7 days later against the New York Rangers. As a rookie in the 2007-2008 season, he had 6 goals and 17 points in 63 games played and averaged 17 minutes and 7 seconds of ice time in the 16 Stanley Cup playoff games played to help the Penguins reach the Stanley Cup Finals. In his second full season, Letang averaged 21 minutes and 9 seconds per game and scored 33 points with 10 goals and 23 assists in 74 games played. He then went on to score 13 points in 23 playoff games to help the Penguins win the Stanley Cup for the first time since 1992. Letang's 2016-2017 season ended February 21st, which was the result of a herniated disc in his neck. He had 34 points in 41 games played, but sat out the entire playoffs when the Penguins won the Cup for the second consecutive season. He rebounded with 51 and then 56 points in the next 2 seasons, and on October 13th, 2019, he became the first defenseman in Penguins history to score 500 points. Letang agreed to a 6-year, $36.6 million contract with the Penguins on July 7, 2022, after he set an NHL career high of 68 points with 10 goals and 58 assists in 78 games played. He entered his 17th NHL season, 3rd among defensemen in points with 650 since joining the NHL in the 2006-2007 season, and is a 3-time Stanley Cup winner, winning in 2009, 2016, and 2017. On April 2, 2013, Chris Letang became the 3rd Penguin skater to play 1,000 games, joining Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin when the Pittsburgh Penguins defeated the Philadelphia Flyers 4-2. He was awarded the Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy, presented annually to the player who best exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. Letang remained a Penguins cornerstone in his 17th season, ranking 10th among NHL players in ice time per game with 24 minutes 51 seconds, and getting 41 points with 12 goals and 29 assists in 64 games played. The San Jose Sharks, Joe Pavelski. After being selected by the Sharks in the 7th round going at the 205th pick in the 2003 NHL Draft, Joe Pavelski turned pro and had 26 points in 16 games played in the AHL, earning himself a call-up to San Jose. He made his NHL debut with the Sharks November 22, 2006, and then scored his first Stanley Cup playoff goal that season against the Nashville Predators in his second postseason game. Pavelski had his first 20-goal season in the NHL in the 2008-2009 season when he finished with 25. He had a 6-game point streak during the 2010 playoffs and became the first NHL player since Mario Lemieux to score more than once in 3 consecutive postseason games. In the 2010-2011 season, Pavelski reached 60 points for the first time, and in the following campaign, he had his first 30-goal season when he notched 31. He led the Sharks with 12 points, 4 goals, and 8 assists in the 2013 playoffs. The 2013-2014 season was a breakout season for Joe Pavelski. He established NHL career highs with 41 goals and 79 points and became the 4th player in Sharks history to score 40 goals in a single season. Pavelski had 3 hat tricks and was named to the NHL second All-Star team. He was named Sharks Player of the Year, finished 7th in Hart Trophy voting, and finished 8th in voting for the Selke. The 2014-2015 season saw Pavelski finish 2nd in the NHL with 19 power play goals and 5th in the league with 37 goals. He was named captain of the Sharks to start the 2015-2016 season and led the team with 38 goals and tied for the best plus-minus rating on the Sharks at +25. He was selected to the NHL All-Star Game for the first time that season and led the NHL with 14 playoff goals to help San Jose reach its first Stanley Cup final, where it lost to the Pittsburgh Penguins in 6 games. Joe Pavelski became the 199th NHL player and the 18th born U.S. player to score 300 goals when he reached the milestone in a 2-1 win against the Florida Panthers December 1st, 2017. The Seattle Kraken, Tucker Robertson. Tucker Robertson has turned into one of the steals of the 2022 NHL Draft after another fantastic season with the Peterborough Petes. Selected 123rd overall by the Kraken, he finished tied for 11th in the OHL for points with 90, while also adding 22 points in 23 playoff games. Robertson is a prospect that continues to work on his game and has developed into one of the top centers in the OHL. One of the big reasons that it took an extra year for Robertson to get drafted was of course the COVID-19 pandemic. After the season was cancelled, many OHLers missed an entire year of development and scouting by the NHL. While he didn't know when the league would be back, he was determined to stay in shape so that he can become a difference maker in the OHL. While he has yet to sign his entry-level contract with Seattle, it is an encouraging sign that they worked with him throughout the season. It shows that the organization sees him as part of their future, otherwise they may not spend the time and resources to help him continue to develop. He has developed into one of their most interesting prospects and a player that could definitely impress. The St. Louis Blues, David Backes. Backes was selected by the Blues in the second round with the 62nd overall pick in the 2003 NHL Draft, but elected to attend Minnesota State, where he scored 46 goals and had 119 points in 115 games during 3 seasons there. Following a 43-game stint in the AHL, Backes joined the Blues for good midway through the 2006-2007 season. He made his NHL debut December 19, 2006, and assisted on Doug Waite's goal 44 seconds into a 4-1 victory against the Pittsburgh Penguins. 2 nights later, he scored his first ever NHL goal in a 5-2 win against the LA Kings. On November 12, 2010, with his influence on the ice growing season by season, Backes signed a 5-year contract extension. He was then named the 20th captain in Blues history September 9, 2011. The St. Louis Blues were stuck in a pattern of having strong regular seasons followed by early playoff exits. David Backes became frustrated. Recognizing the urgency involved, he helped the team to a 107-point regular season, which was second best in the Western Conference, and the Blues made a determined push in the 2016 Stanley Cup playoffs but lost to the San Jose Sharks in the conference finals. After playing 10 years with 206 goals, 460 points in 727 games, Backes left for the Boston Bruins. The Tampa Bay Lightning, Brad Richards. Brad Richards was drafted in the 3rd round, 64th overall by the Tampa Bay Lightning in the 1998 NHL Draft. In his first year with the Lightning at age 20, Richards scored 62 points in 82 games played. In the 02-03 season, Richards picked up the pace, scoring 74 points in 80 games played. Then, in the 2003-2004 season, the Tampa Bay Lightning won their first Stanley Cup. Richards was a huge part of this cup win, scoring 26 goals in 23 playoff games played. This performance won him the Lady Byng Trophy and, of course, the Conn Smythe Trophy. Richards went on to spend 7 seasons with the Lightning, and in each of those seasons, he put up more than 60 points, except in his last season in the 2007-2008 season, where he put up 51 points in 62 games played. The Toronto Maple Leafs, Thomas Kaberle. If there was a redraft of the 1996 NHL Draft, Thomas Kaberle would be a top 5 pick compared to the 8th round selection he once was. Thomas Kaberle began to turn heads the minute he took to the ice to begin his NHL career in the 1998-99 season. He was a stable puck-moving defender with great vision and had the ability to move the puck like no other. During his 14-year career, Kaberle was a smooth and effortless skater who was rarely caught out of position. He was capable of playing both the penalty kill and the power play, and that versatility allowed him to log major minutes on a nightly basis against the opposition's best players. Kaberle's time with the Leafs was wildly successful. In nearly 900 games played, Kaberle recorded 437 assists and would log an average of 23 minutes 52 seconds per game, which just goes to show you how significant he was for this team. Unfortunately, Kaberle would never hoist a Stanley Cup in Toronto. However, he did manage to do so in the spring of 2011 following his departure to the Boston Bruins. In the years that followed, Kaberle would skate for both the Montreal Canadiens and Carolina Hurricanes, although it goes without saying that the best hockey of his career was played in Toronto. The Vancouver Canucks, Pavel Bure. The Canucks drafted Pavel Bure in the 6th round with the 113th overall pick in the 1989 NHL Draft. He dropped to the 6th round due to uncertainty surrounding his NHL eligibility, which depended on the number of games he had played in the Soviet Elite League. Nicknamed the Russian Rocket due to his unmatched speed, Pavel Bure dominated as a Canuck. He tied the rookie point record with 60 points in 61 games. The following 2 seasons would be Bure's best with the Canucks. He had a pair of 60-goal seasons and passed the 100-point mark. He led the way to the 1993-94 Stanley Cup Final with 16 goals and 31 points in 24 playoff games. Pavel Bure became the first player in Canucks history to be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. The Vegas Golden Knights, Paul Cotter. Paul Cotter is by all means a depth piece for the Golden Knights, but he's been the most successful late-round pick in the franchise's brief drafting history. He made his NHL debut in the 2021-22 season, where he tallied 2 points in 7 games. Then, playing 55 games with the Knights in the 2022-23 season, Cotter got a little more comfortable and notched himself 18 points in 55 games. Now that's still not amazing, but there is a clear improvement. The most exciting part is what Cotter is doing for the Knights this season. At the point of making this video, Cotter has played in all 7 games of the Golden Knights and has tallied 5 points, playing on the team's 3rd line with William Karlsson. He's even now getting some time on the 2nd power play unit, notching 2 of his 5 points on the man advantage. The Washington Capitals, Braden Holtby. Holtby was a 4th-round pick, drafted 93rd overall by the Capitals in the 2008 NHL Draft. Braden Holtby made his NHL debut on November 5, 2010, earning a victory and entering the game in the 3rd period, playing against the Boston Bruins. He made his first NHL start 2 nights later in a 3-2 overtime win against the Philadelphia Flyers, but his first shutout didn't come until March 9, 2011, when he made 22 saves in a 5-0 win against the Edmonton Oilers. During the 2011-2012 season, Braden Holtby played 7 regular season games, but assumed the starting role to open the Stanley Cup Finals and led the Washington Capitals to a 7-game series victory against the Boston Bruins in the opening round before falling in 7 games to the New York Rangers. By 2012-2013, Holtby was Washington's starter. And in 2014-2015, he became the NHL's workhorse, playing a league-high 4,247 minutes and finishing with 9 shutouts. In the 2014-2015 season, Holtby faced the most shots in the NHL, which was 2,044, and he made the most saves with 1,887, and played the most games with 73. With all that time and shots against, he finished 2nd in wins with 41. In the 2015-2016 season, Braden Holtby tied Martin Brodeur's NHL record with 48 victories when he was voted the winner of the Vezina Trophy as the top goalie in the league. After an up-and-down regular season in 2017-2018, Holtby began the Stanley Cup playoffs as a backup to Philip Grubauer, but took over Washington's net in the 2nd postseason game and sparked the Capitals to their first championship with a record of 16-7 with a 2.16 goals against average and a .922 save percentage, collecting 2 shutouts along the way. Holtby helped the Capitals finish first in the Metropolitan Division in the 2018-2019 season and was named to the NHL All-Star Game for the 5th consecutive season in 2020. After spending 10 years in Washington, Holtby signed a 2-year, $8.6 million contract with the Vancouver Canucks as a free agent on October 9, 2020. The Winnipeg Jets, Connor Hellebuyck. After playing with Odessa of the North American Hockey League for the 2011-2012 season, Connor Hellebuyck did not even crack NHL Central Scouting's list of the top 36 North American goalies eligible for the 2012 draft. However, just 4 years later, Hellebuyck made 26 starts as a rookie for the Jets in the 2015-2016 season. He won his NHL debut on November 27, 2015 against the Minnesota Wild, which was the first of 3 straight wins. Hellebuyck got his first NHL shutout December 27, 2015, making 30 saves against the eventual Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins. Despite leading Jets goalies with a .918 save percentage and a 2.34 goals against average, Hellebuyck was sent back down to the AHL to develop further. He ended up finishing that season tied with a team lead of 13 wins. Among rookie goalies who played in at least 10 games in the 2015-2016 season, Hellebuyck was 4th with a 2.34 goals against average and tied for 5th with a .918 save percentage and tied for 2nd with 2 shutouts. Hellebuyck then had a breakout season in the 2018-2019 season, tying for the NHL lead with 44 wins and helping the Jets advance to the Western Conference Final. In 2020, Connor Hellebuyck earned himself the Vezina Trophy. In the 2022-23 season, Hellebuyck went 37-25-2 with a 2.49 goals against average and a .920 save percentage, collecting 4 shutouts in 64 games. He faced the third most shots with 1,964 and made the second most saves with 1,807. In that season, he had 6 games with at least 40 saves and was a Vezina finalist for the 3rd time in his career. Connor Hellebuyck signed a 7-year, $59.5 million contract with the Jets October 9th, 2023. Thanks for watching our videos. Don't forget to leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button.